Ja, men så tror jeg, at vi går i gang. Klokken er nu 2 minutter over 2, så det er vel fair nok. Endnu en gang velkommen. Mit navn er Henrik Munk Madsen. Jeg kommer fra Symetri. Og velkommen til vores webinar, hvor vi fokuserer på Solibri og hvordan den nye produktportfolio ser ud. Det er et webinar, som vi kører på engelsk, fordi vi har valgt at invitere et par medarbejdere fra Solibri til at fortælle lidt om det, og også at lave noget demo for os. Og det, der er fokus på, det er de nye licenstyper. Der har jo været en ændring, som I sikkert ved, i løbet af året her, og vi tænkte, det var måske relevant lige at give en fresh up eller give lidt input på, hvordan det rent faktisk ser ud. Med den gamle model checker, som nu hedder Office, og så er der også blevet introduceret en ny licenstype, der hedder Site. Så alt i alt, så tænkte vi, det er måske en meget god idé lige at give et overblik. Så det, der kommer til at ske i dag, det er, at vores to finske venner fra Solibri, Vera, starter med at give os en produktpositionering og fortælle lidt om de forskellige licenstyper. Og så vil Marti gå ind og give en decideret demo, hvor vi starter med Site og fortæller lidt om den, går op i Office og slutter af, kan man sige, med en Enterprise. Og så prøver vi på den måde at positionere produkterne på via en demo, så vi kan se, hvor forskellene ligger. Og så vil vi afslutningsvis fortælle lidt om den nye release, der kommer på ser dagens lys i morgen, og afslutter med nogle nye features. Og alt det her, det kommer til at foregå på engelsk, så når jeg er færdig med at sige velkommen her, så slår vi over på engelsk. Vi tænker, at det er bedre end finsk. Og der er mulighed for at stille spørgsmål undervejs, men egentlig ville det være bedst, hvis vi kører præsentationen igennem og demoen, og så sender nogle chats til os, så skal vi give dem videre. Og så får vi afklaret de spørgsmål, inden vi slutter i dag. Og så vil jeg sige afslutningsvis, så kommer der også en opfølgingsmail, hvor vi har selve recording med, så I får et link til en landing page med lidt forskellige informationer omkring de her ting. Så det var egentlig min intro, og velkommen til webinaret i dag, og vi har afsat en times tid, så vi regner med, at det kan vi holde os til. Demoen varer cirka 40 minutter, og inden det er der lidt forskellige produktpositioneringer, som Vera tager sig af. So, Vera and Marty, welcome. I now switch to English. I assume you didn't understand anything of the Danish I just said, so we now switch to English, and Vera, could you take it from here and starting with your PowerPoint presentation, talking about a little bit about your product positioning?
Sure. Thank you, Henrik, inviting for us to this webinar. So my name is Vera Lehto, and I'm here with Matti Kannala. I will start the presentation now. Okay, so I will tell first about the Solibri new product portfolio, and I work at Solibri as an area sales manager. Then there will be a Solibri demo.
Hello, my name is Matti Kannala. I'm a Solibri software engineer, and I have a long background in developing Solibri and also having lots of support and basically everything that you can do with Solibri in 15 years.
So this is a map just telling you that you can find Solibri in over 70 countries. I mean that we have customers in that many countries, and our customers include major building owners, construction companies, architects and engineering firms. And Solibri is nowadays part of Nemetschek group. And so, yeah, the basic thing is to develop and market this quality assurance and quality control solution. And we aim to improve the quality of open BIM-based design. And we aim to make the entire design process more productive. so that you can work to save time, money, and the environment. So this is our new product portfolio. We launched this in May this year. Some of you may be kind of familiar with the former names that we had used before. So this free version of Solibri, it used to be called Solibri Model Viewer, but nowadays it's Solibri Anywhere. And then this next product that we have, kind of in the middle, is Solibri Site, and I will tell you more in the next slides what it includes. Then this full package, it's called Solibri Office nowadays. The former name was called Solibri Model Checker. Then we have also kind of the Solibri Enterprise, which is kind of including some advanced features like autorun, and this is for the big companies. And Matti will tell you a little bit more in his presentation what is it about. So here you can see all the features that are included in these different products. With Anywhere, you can do certain basic stuff, and this combining multiple IFCs is something that is kind of a new feature there. With Site, the most interesting thing is probably the creating of the classifications and taking of quantities, and that is mostly used on construction sites. Many of our customers, they are combining actually these different products. So this is also possible that different roles are using, of course, the different products. I will tell you more about this in the next slides. And the Office is the full package that has all these viewing abilities and classification and quantity takeoffs, but also checking of the models, customizing rules, and then you can have an add-on of Outrun for Office as well. And if you are having this enterprise deal, that is mostly that you have really multiple licenses, and then you can have the Outrun for free. This is kind of a comparison of the different features between Anywhere, Site, and Office. And what is interesting with Anywhere is, of course, that you can get the industry standard feature set for free, and you can do model viewing there. With Solibri Site, you can classify, visualize, and share information. And that's, of course, kind of easing your construction workflow. With Solibri Office, you can, in addition, check and validate and report the digital construction data and information. And what is also interesting, you can create your own rule sets, which many of our companies are doing at the moment. Okay, so as I mentioned before, this product portfolio renewal was or is really making it easy to choose right tools for the right people, so that designers and BIM coordinators and people who are working with construction can get their own products. If you're working with BIM coordination, you can get quality assurance for your BIM project very easily. So you can find issues early on, so that you don't have to kind of, it's easier to click on a mouse and remove a brick on a construction site, for instance. It's easy to coordinate and communicate on your projects. You can provide all the involved parties kind of relevant information, both in the office and on site. And you can simplify and automate processes with flexible rule-based model checking. If you work with design, it's kind of easy to work with Solibri to correct mistakes prior to delivery. You can check against the requirements that are on your field, and then you can align with other disciplines as well. So you can compare model iterations, coordinate your design, and class check with other discipline models. And then if you work with construction, the phrase that better data for better builds is quite suitable for you. You, of course, want to minimize errors beforehand, and you don't like to have on-site surprises, so that you can actually focus on the actual construction or manufacturing. So with Solibri, that is possible. You can take off more than just quantities and cut overspend. And this is also important that you can communicate with the design team that there are different people who are working in the project get the accurate information. So I think this was all that I had on my side. I will then give the speak to Matti.
Okay, hello. So my name is Matti Kannala. I'm working in the research and development, and today I'm doing technical demonstration of Solibri Anywhere, Solibri Site, Solibri Autorun, and then also I'm showing the Autorun feature that is normally available for enterprise, but in some special cases we also offer that Autorun feature for Solibri Office. And then I'm showing at the end of the presentation, I'm showing new features that are available in the next release that is planned to go public tomorrow. So this is Solibri Anywhere. Yeah. So Solibri opens with the basic user interface with recent models, and I can choose here a few models that I want to see. And in Solibri Anywhere, you can also open multiple models by selecting them at the start and also later adding. The Solibri Anywhere is good for also like if the company has a Solibri site or Solibri Office in use, and when they go and save the model in Anywhere, you can like look all the results and everything, but you cannot modify, for example, the checking results, but you can look them. So it's like basically a viewer in that sense. So in Solibri Anywhere, you cannot do the information takeoffs. It's not allowed. And also you cannot go run checkings. But what you can do presentations and add some slides to the presentations. And you can save the model. Of course, you can add comments to the slides and communicate with the colleagues. So let's say here I can comment here that door is okay. Let's check this door. This is my comment. And in Solibri Anywhere is also available, like in the other products, is this Pcf Connector, which is allowing to communicate the issues that are in the presentation to different Pcf servers like PIM-Collab, Trimble Connect, PIM-Sync, PIM-Track, Aconex, and also we are going to have more of this when this issue management software, they are providing the APIs. So then we can like add more of these communication servers. So basically what it means that when you have the slides here, you can synchronize them to your favorite issue management portal. Okay, I will now going for the showing the Solibri site. So I will start Solibri site now. Yeah, here we have Solibri site. So Solibri site has now this information takeoff and classification as additional functionality, and I will show you the both of the features now. So basically, we can start by opening the model that we were just working with in the Anywhere. And we can go for information takeoff, for example. Solibri installation comes with plenty of this kind of example information takeoff templates, or it's called here definitions. So I can open a couple of them, and the information takeoff is basically a configurable listing of data from the BIM model. And it can list various things like quantities and textual information. And of course, we can report them and visualize. So basically, this information takeoff is purely for spaces, and different kind of spaces are visualized by different colors here. And yeah, and all of these you can like change the order of the columns, for example, by tracking, and also adding more information if I would like to have also the for example, the height of the space. So I could like add here column. Now I'm going to add here a new column that is the type of the space, and run the takeoff again. And okay, this model didn't have the type information correct, so I can change that to have it like let's say let's put application or let's say name. And also we can list like in the information takeoff, so that it groups each of the similar elements into the one row, or we can list components one by one. And now I'm listing every space in our own row, like this. So now there is single space in each row, and now the name is also visible here. This information takeoff basically works so that in the settings, you have here a filter that which one you want to list. So this is listing every space in architectural discipline, but also it's excluding the spaces that are space groups. Now I'm going to the reporting. So you can do plain Excel report, which is really the plain Excel report is really simple. So it's basically a copy of the data on the page. But if you wish to have like your own template, or if you wish to use some Excel functions in your template, then the good choice is to report with the Excel template report. And I'm showing here, you can also edit the templates. So this is like the Excel template here, and each of these like basically tags here represents a column name. And we could add here also like now we, for example, added the name there. So I can add here a new column in Excel and put the name here and the corresponding tag name. And then I'm saving the template. And when I'm now creating the report, I'm getting also the name into the template. Also, you can list in the template various things like the dates and like the user of the Solibri product here and such things. And it is possible to also in the template use the Excel functions. Also, if you are using like this grouping function, so every space which has basically same information will be grouped. So now there is in the ground floor there is two spaces that are corridors, and then the total area is summed up. So here you can select the function that is used to calculate the sum. Okay, so in the the information takeoff, there is also like almost like unlimited ways to list all the information from. You can select all of the data that is in the model. So you can select property set values, you can select quantities, locations, or even like use the classifications and profile material information. So next I'm showing this Solibri classification functionality that is also provided in the Solibri site. So classification is very important to like functionality to group different kind of components based on some features. And sometimes in IFC models, the ways of how the properties are defined in IC model, they can vary by model. So this classification, for example, here we have a classification for building elements, and there is, for example, external doors and external walls. So in this classification settings, we can select here that what we are classifying. We are classifying all components in architectural discipline, excluding spaces and openings. And then we have this kind of classification names with the colors. All these can be also like handled with the Excel files, like import and export. Then we have the classification rule engine. With this rule engine here in the classification, the users can define this kind of classification set that basically can, based on the fields of the component, it can classify the components very clever way. So, for example, here for exterior wall, we are having two different rules. One is that if the Pcf common dot is external, this property set is true, then it's external wall. And there is another way to define external walls, is that if the type is having exterior text, and there is also possibility to add more columns here, and you can classify even based on the quantities. I make simple examples so how to make a new classification here. So I want to classify all the doors. Let's say doors, and I select that I want to classify now only the doors. This is very simple. And then I go to the classification rules. I add one simple rule here, that the classification name is actually based on the type. So now this, I select that, okay, it's equals to, and it's like, this is the, you can see here that I want to have the classification name exactly like 2. And when I press OK, I get all the doors classified based on the type here. And here I can have like special colors, for example, if I want to have the entrance door always as red and others as components color, then it's possible. Okay, so let's see. So now all the entrance doors here are with the red color. So this is the classification engine. And Solibri installation, Solibri site and office is coming with many classification examples from building elements and also some classification standards. And for making like really easy working information takeoffs and checking and visualizations, it's very important to have like things classified, because usually like if you trust that the IC models always have the information in the right place and in one place, then when you go to the quantity takeoff, for example, you can end up in trouble, because if the model didn't have the things as expected, and then and you don't have any way to list, for example, the external wall areas and door counts and such things. But with the classification, you can always tune. You can even manually assign some components to the different categories. So I can even, if I know that, let's see, if I take here some door, and I know that these doors here are actually sliding doors. So I can go and manually assign the sliding doors. Here I can select that, okay, all of these are actually sliding doors without any rule. So it's directly set by the user. And now we got these also as a sliding door, even though they are not in real life here sliding doors, but you can manually also tune the classifications. But when you are doing information takeoffs in site or for the base of the cost estimations, it's very important that the data of your model is correct. And for correct data, you need to validate your model. So that's for that we have the Solibri Office. So I'm now starting to demonstrate the Solibri Office, and for that demo I have already a bigger model open. So let's see. Here is this model is a Vectorworks OpenBIM project model, which has architectural discipline, electrical discipline, mechanical discipline, and plumbing, and structural discipline. And for validation, basically the checking, we have our rules. So how it works that you first, I'm closing now the rules and adding some, let's say, let's add a couple of rule sets. So with the Solibri Office installation, you get a quite large set of pre-configured rule sets, which each of the rule sets are consisting of multiple rules. So I opened the BIM validation for architectural discipline and also intersections between architectural components. And here you can see the rule sets, and this rule set consists of multiple rules, and each of these rules are basically rule templates that you can change the parameters. So for example, this is basic check for the model structure, and with this rule you can check multiple things about the models. It's basically checks that there is no empty floors, there is you can check the floor names that they are correct, you can check that all doors have opening directions defined, the IDs are unique, and many things. And this particular rule is only checking the not checking all of these, but it's like the Morley hierarchy. So basically there is in the model tree there is a hierarchy that there is a building, floor, and then components. So there is no components directly assigned to the building object. And then we have lots of other rules. So I run the check now, and while it's checking, I can already start to see check the what kind of results we have here. So for example, sorry, we can check that there is nothing in front of the windows. So here we have one case that there is a column hitting the window, which is really bad. So I want to report this. So I click here and make an issue about it. So, and we got already this default text here, and I can hear that cannot have window here as a comment. Please fix. And then I can go on and check what kind of issues. There is probably, like, also for doors, there is some issue here. Let's see. What is this case? Okay, there is basically in architectural model there is it's a door, but the structural model is not matching. So we got this kind of issue. So I also like put here that fix the, or let's say put conflict with door and wall, and so on. Okay, let's see, there is some intersections. This class check is really basic thing that, like, also, of course, Solibri Office is also doing class check, but we are doing plenty of more checks, and the class check is just like the very basics that you can do in the checking. So quite many tools offers some kind of class check, but we are also, Solibri offers very intelligent class check that can categorize and group different kind of classes together. So let's see, here is some simple class, that this walls class, that fix the wall clash. Okay, now we have created some slides. If we want to communicate this, so we go to the communication, and we can automatically create presentation from the checking results here. And I select the both rule sets here. And when I click OK, I get in my presentation, I get the same findings here. And in the meeting, if how many? 18 minutes. Okay. So here, basically, in the meetings, the project members can comment more on these issues, and also say that, okay, for example, this thing has been like resolved, and then you can use this synchronize. You can synchronize your presentation with the, for example, PIM Collab, and then you can, like, send the issues to the, I want to send this issue to the PIM Collab, and I'm now syncing up this slide to the my PIM Collab project. So this is now in PIM Collab also. Okay, and then if you want to go more advanced and start to create your own rules, you can always go for Rule Set Manager. And in Rule Set Manager, you can find all of our rule templates. And the simple things is maybe start with the examples. And there is more difficult ones that, for example, escape routes and all these accessible checks, space validation, for example. So I open, for example, this space validation example here, and I could change the parameters to match my needs also here. I want to pick some specific rule, for example, from this example. So I just drag and drop here that this is actually checking that are the columns are the columns too high or low, and I have now this my own small rule set. I can save that rule sets into the file, my rule set, and then in the checking side, I close these away. I don't need them anymore. So I open the one small rule set that I just created, my rule set, and run the check for this small rule set, and I can get the results here. So for example, there is a hallway space that is modeled wrongly. So this specific rule points out that the space objects should be modeled so that they follow the wall and not hit the wall. And in this case, basically the space area will be wrong because it hits the wall here. Okay, this is very simple demonstration how to make your own rule sets.
Okay, Marty, do you need a glass of water? Short break. We can see if there are any chats or any questions so far. Er der nogen, der har spørgsmål?
Yeah, we can go for the questions now because next I'm moving on the outrun demonstration.
Yeah, I thought so. And I just see if there's anything in the chat. No.
Okay.
It does not seem to be the case.
I saw actually a few questions. I don't know if it's visible only for us, but there is a question about Autorun add-on and what is the price of it. And yeah, the case is that you have to have one Office license to be able to get this extension, and the current price is 6,000 euros for this Autorun add-on. And another question was about do we have plans for an Anywhere app for phones and tablets?
Of course, we have plans, but I cannot say any dates. And we have done investigations on that also. So definitely that topic is interesting also for us. So let's see the outrun fast. So basically, outrun is, I'm losing the mouse cursor now. Here, and okay, Solibri outrun is a feature that comes top of the Solibri Office, and here is some use cases. Basically, what it does, it runs the model checker automatically, so without user interaction. And here is some use cases. You can open a model, update new ISCs, and let it save the model. And second use case is open multiple ISCs, open the classifications, rules, and rule sets, and then run the check, create presentations, and save the model, and also like report the found issues. Third example is that you open existing Solibri model, update the ISPs, check the model, and update presentations. So there is many ways that you can do. And I have here a simple, similar to this outrun, is like this kind of text file, which is each of the row defines what the Solibri Office is doing. So here is like open model, update these IFCs, and save the model to this file and then exit. So I'm now starting from command line the outrun, and with this kind of, like, I'm basically calling here in the command line that start Solibri with this outrun definition. Okay, I made a mistake there, so is it starting? Yeah. Okay, didn't make mistake. So it's now opening the models automatically, and then we can follow here also what it's doing. So basically now everything is happening automatically. So I believe that it's opening some rule sets. Yes, it is now checking, run the check, and then after the checking it starts to take the screenshots of the issues found. So now it's basically taking the snapshots for the presentation. I go now back to the presentation. So here is some what more specific what you can do, open classification. So you can specify this by hand, but also it's way to kind of if you have like some scripting or programming skills, you can automate also writing of this, so all the reports can have like current dates in the file names, and also you can define where to pick the files and when to run this, like if you want to run it nighttime or always. And in Solibri Society, which is a web page, there is also more of these examples how to utilize the outrun. Here is the Solibri Society. So this was the outrun slides, but I'm now going back for the this outrun, and now what is happening here that it's basically creating the presentations, and when the presentations are ready, we should have already some. Okay, the presentations are now created, and we should have soon some reports coming also on the disk, so we can go and look the reports here. Okay, there is one PDF report. Let's see how this looks. Okay, this is the general report of all of the rules, that if they are passing or if there is some rules has some issues, it's marked with X. And this is this is a report with all of the pictures of the issues. Then we also have the Pcf files. So if you want to use the file-based Pcf to transfer the issues somewhere. And also we are soon, it should be ready, the Excel report. It's writing the Excel, so we can see the similar Excel report that was done by the in my demonstration. And also the Excel. Okay, I have one. The Excel one is already done here beforehand. So this is the Excel where it's like a bit bigger template with all of the slides here visible that the outrun was doing. This is I would say that the outrun is very powerful if you have defined your own rule sets, very strict rules in modeling, and so you can fast find, like whenever some mistake is found earlier, it's cheaper for the building project point of view. So you can daily basis find any issues that are coming into your project, and you can even like utilize this to basically extract some kind of data out from the project, that how the project is going, so how many issues there is left daily basis, and maybe like even like export that to some business intelligence reports. Okay, now it's closing the model. Yeah, now we should have actually the saved model here also. Yeah, so this one was just saved like here. Okay, and the last but not least, I'm going to show fast a few additional features. If Solibri Office is already known for you, there is something more. So we have added in the classification like this, that you can see directly the colors here, and you can even like set this classification to define the model colors like as a permanent color here. So we had added this tick box here, that if you click this one, this classification is shown as yellow here, and this basically the model colors are now staying there. So if I click here, so you can see that the columns here are always with this pink color, and they stay like pink. So you can basically have your own colors based on any value in the model and based on quantities or whatever you want. Then we have added some nice feature that you can on site, if you're working on site, for example, you can take picture and replace or add a picture to the issue from a file. So I can take basically a picture. Let's see if I have some picture that I could show here. I can also maybe like export this kind of a floor ban as a picture on the desktop, and then I can, okay, what was happening? Maybe some rights of that I cannot write that file there. Maybe I take a copy of this one and I go to the Paint program, and then I can draw there something, maybe with the ticker. I save this as a picture to the desktop, and then I replace this picture from the desktop here. So this kind of tricks is possible to use in the latest version. Also, we have some minor improvements that in the classification and elsewhere, when you are editing the colors, these colors are the color choices are bigger. It's easier to hit with a touch screen or with a mouse, and we had a problem that these were not remembered in all times. So now the recent is staying. Also, small additional features, for example, that if you have plenty of slides, you can change now this size of the thumbnails very fast here. So thank you for my presentation, and I will switch to this one. So you can last word.
Yeah, Henrik, do you want to have the word?
Yeah, thank you, Matti. Thank you, Vera. We'll just check if there's any extra questions. We have 2 minutes left. From my side, thank you for a very good presentation and demo, Matti. I don't see any extra questions.
Okay. So if there are afterwards any questions, you can contact us, as you can see our email information.
Yes, of course. And what we'll do is that we will send a mail with the recording and the PowerPoint as well, so you can check it out for yourself and don't hesitate to call us. Okay, that's it. Thank you for today. And thank you, Martia and Vera, again. We'll close this session now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And goodbye. Bye-bye.